welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a full dip nailed it set. Full dip nailed it mani. We are going to be using these three colors. Orange Sorbet is a nice shimmer orange. We're going to be using Frosty Mint, and definitely white is a flat white, but I added some glow to it so it glows super bright. The Orange Sorbet is part of a Dips for a Cause perfect pair. That's why it has that on it. And then the Frosty Mint is part of a terrific trio, a totally terrific trio that she does. So there's a perfect pair is the duos, and the totally terrific trio is her trios that she does. Here are the colors. They are orange and teal for my birthday. So these are two of my favorite colors, so I figured we could throw them in together. I'm also going to be using this water slide decal, and it is cut because I'm going to show you guys a different way to do it. I'm also going to be using this striping tape from Ooh Coco Decals. It's also going to be using peel base and activator. And then we are going to be finishing off with gel base and glossy. Also going to be using this to clean up my cuticles, and I'm going to be using one of these as well to be doing my scrub off, to scrub the color off. And then I'm going to be using this to help apply my water slide when I go like that, like from my last video. This is my other birthday nails that I did. Not totally sold on them, but this is the other set that I did. Super pretty. Orange and teal and silver. But I'm going to go ahead and knock out my birthday mani today. When I'm uploading this, it is actually my actual birthday. So I wanted to throw this up, show you guys what I'm going to be wearing on my birthday. We're going to get right into it. Alright, as usual, I start off with peel base. It's going to dry clear when it's all ready, and I like to apply a thin layer of base coat on top of my peel base. And when I'm doing that first layer, I always try to make sure to wipe off my brush. When I'm just doing the layer over peel base, I try to remember to do it when I'm dipping, but applying a base coat over peel base, if it's not ready or somehow it sticks or something, I've found that that is one of the ways that I contaminate my base coat or my brush, or just make the whole thing mess up. I'll peel up the peel base sometimes if my brush gets stuck to it. So you want to try to be quick and swift. I left this in real time so you guys can kind of see how fast I'm going, and make sure that you wipe your brush off on a paper towel in between dipping back into the jar. Even if you have to go back in multiple times, just make sure you wipe off both sides of your brush so that you don't take anything back into the jar, because we do not want any contamination. But if you do happen to contaminate your liquids, you can just throw your brush into the clean step and it'll be ready in about 10 minutes to use again. Here is what it looks like after I've done my layer of base. It's ready to go ahead. Everything's ready to go ahead and dip. I'm going to start with white. A lot of people don't, but I don't really mind. I have a decal going over top of it. And I want y'all to see that you can pour over, you can dip in. My nails are fairly long, as you guys can see. They're not long, but you can pour over and it does just fine. You just pour over into the cupcake liner like y'all have seen me do before. You take your cuticle stick and you just run around the cuticles just to make sure you keep your cuticle line nice and clean, because it's less filing at the end for you. And I actually do a single layer of all of my colors, and then I go back and do a second. Just if I'm not working with the glitter, I don't really mind, because I don't have to worry about any rogue glitters getting into my shimmers or anything. So as you're going to see, I just tap the dip to the side, and I'll dip my pinky in it at an angle. It's kind of hard to see when I'm doing this hand in the camera, because I don't want to spill my powder and I don't want to tap my finger on the edge of the jar. But as you can see, it's just as even as the pour over. So I think maybe you can see on this one when I do it, but I just tilt the jar just a little bit, tap the powder to the side. Yep, and I go in and I do a little bit of a scooping motion, but not very hard at all. I had to go in for a second one because I didn't get it all the way to the cuticle line on the first dip, but it's easy. My nails are long. That's just showing you how large the jars are and that you are able to dip in them. This is a well-loved dip color, apparently. And I choose to pour over with this one, but on the first layer. But when I go back with the second layer, you'll actually see me dip in with not that much powder in there. And my middle finger is my longest nail. So there's some room in these jars for y'all. All right, I'm going to let you guys watch. I'm going to finish up the first layer. I'm going to brush it off. I'm going to go ahead and knock out the second layer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate all nails except the ring finger. And I will pop back in when we get to that point. ahead and dip into clear. Like I told y'all before, I am an avid clear dipper no matter what I'm using, what colors I'm using. I could have gone without using any clear, but I don't like to do that because that usually turns out not a good way. So I like to put clear on top of all of my colors, even the white that you're not going to see, it's going to go under my decal. That's just how I like to do things. I can't explain it to you. I feel like I missed a step. That's like knowing that I'm going to use a gel base and a gel top. I still have to buff my nails because I feel like I'm missing a step and that it's just not going to work. I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Even though I don't wear my nails that long, I usually pop them off in a few days. I still feel weird, like I missed a step or something if I don't buff them or if I don't use clear. It's just how I am. But after this, dip all my nails in clear, dip into the jar, and I'm getting very low, so I'm probably gonna have to get some more. I'm going to brush off. I'm gonna let the clear sit. I let the clear sit for a couple of minutes just to let everything set, but you don't really need to let it sit that long with the liquids and the clear together. And when I brush it off, there are 0 spots. This is one of my top favorite clears. I have only used one other one that I stick to, so I only have 2 clears right now that I go to, and I have tried a lot of clears. There's nothing worse than getting done, everything's looking good, you top your nails in clear, and it turns out to not be clear. That is so frustrating. But no worries here. Let it sit. We're going to scrub it off. Then we're going to activate all nails except the ring finger, and then we are going to get into the decal application. Now this decal application is going to be a little bit different from my last one. The last one, I used Maniology sticky base, but we're going to stick to Dip Nailed It. So we are going to skip, I went ahead and put Activator on them. We're going to skip the Activator, so you're going to want to be careful when you're filing because you do want to shape it just a little bit. And yes, I left this in for y'all, a mini filing video, because after I get done shaping this nail, I go ahead and file and shape the rest of them, file shape, buff all the rest of them off camera. But I leave the one in here for you guys to show that you can file without having activated your nail. But I did not activate this because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually apply, these are the Dip Nailed It buffers that come in your orders. Super cute with the company colors and all that. But back to what I was saying, you can apply your decal with base coat. Now, when you do this, you want to be a little bit faster with your placement or use a slower drying liquid, because when you put the decal on, it is going to stick. It is not going to rip like my one did the other day. It's not going to slide. It's not going to move. So once you put it on the nail, it's going to stay, wrinkles and all, but it is an option for those that want to just use it with base coat. So when I was doing this decal, I tried to get my hand in the camera when I was applying the decal onto my nail. I did not happen to apply the decal to my entire nail, as I'm sure you will probably notice now that I pointed it out to you, but yes, I went ahead and filed and shaped off camera, but that nail is not activated yet. So it's just hanging on there. The rest of them are filed and shaped and buffed and ready to be gel based and topped. So I get the water slide decal out, put it on the stamper, make sure a lot of the water is taken off. Then once I get everything set, apply the base coat, and you want to kind of move kind of quick just because the base coat is gonna dry, you know, it's not gel, so you do have a time limit. And this particular one is a little bit quicker drying than I used beforehand, so it's not as easy to apply decals with it. That's why I don't use the base to apply decals. I use the Maniology sticky base. But you can, and you'll see, it ends up working out just fine, but I just don't have any time to play with it. And when you put the decal on, it's pretty much set wherever you put it. And then I'm going to let you guys watch the finishing of this. I'm going to let you guys watch me finish putting the striping vinyl sticker at the bottom of the decal to kind of tie it all together. And then I will come back at the end for some final thoughts. Okay, I know I said I was going to let y'all watch, but I did forget to mention that when I'm done applying the decal, I use base coat again, and I cover the decal in clear dip. It helps me be able to activate it without ruining the image, because I still haven't activated the nail yet. So you do want to make sure that you activate the nail so that the dip powder hardens, but you don't want to ruin your design. So if you just put a layer of clear over top of your decal, usually the base coat doesn't ruin it, but you kind of want to float it over, and then your decal will be encapsulated. I went ahead and filed. I'm going to go ahead and file and shape and buff the decal and get it all looking nice. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put the striping sticker on there. Here is the mani all finished up. Got it top coated and everything. I feel like it turned out pretty decent, even though I had my little mishap with my decal. And also, you want to make sure that you're going to always finish off with the cuticle oil or lotion. I say this in every video, just to make sure you're replenishing everything. This is the cuticle oil by Dip Nailed It. It smells super delicious. I can't even put my finger on what it is because I'm very bad with scents, but it smells really good. You want to make sure that you're replenishing everything that you're taking out, and just keep everything nice and smooth and moisturized. Also, I told y'all in the beginning that the white glowed, so I threw a video in here of it glowing for y'all. And I just wanted to say that I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed all of the tips and tricks. I hope you guys consider subscribing, and I hope to see y'all in the next one.